Hello everyone, watch this review here with a look at the variant Steppenwolf from DC Universe Classics Wave 11, aka the Kilowog wave. First time 6-inch. Now, as mentioned, this is the variant of the figure. The standard was the costume that originally appeared in the DC Superpowers line, the little action gimmick and stuff. I do believe this is the comic accurate look for the character, though. Not 100% sure. A little bit of a read up here if you care. Basically, it just mentions that he's Darkseid's uncle and, one of the military commanders. Hold on a second, I'll get this out pack. Right about now, I should stop this review for a second to clarify that this Steppenwolf is of no relation to the band, which had such hits as Magic Carpet Ride, just in case you were wondering if there was a connection. There's not. As for the figure itself, it's a bit smaller than it looks in box, but at the same time, it's actually a pretty tall figure. Here it is next to a Superman. You'll notice that he looks like he's half a head taller than Superman. And in fact, I was kind of hoping that he'd be able to scale against Motox, but, Masters Universe Classics are still, quite a bit bigger. Although, with this big ol' hat, he is taller. So I guess that's kind of neat. It's actually kind of weird that his shoulders are a bit higher too, just because it looks like it's mostly standard parts, as you'll see in a few minutes, but first, a quick look at the accessories. He comes with his little horn here, which you would use in hunting, as well as this kind of neat whip, which is made of a soft, flexible plastic, though it doesn't keep its form all that well. Sort of just bends back into place. And a sword. Fortunately, this one, there's no place to store it. It's just kind of interesting when characters come with weapons, but not like sheaths and stuff. So, other than that, if you look at his crazy complexion, the whole yellow color and stuff, it just kind of reminds me of characters like Evelyn from the Masters of the Universe line. Very nice sculpt, lots of attention to detail, but most of the pieces aren't actually sculpted on. They just tossed on softer bits of plastic over existing pieces. This is just the standard shoulder with an extra piece here. Even down here at the knees, these are not new leg sculpts. It's just the standard leg with this additional piece of plastic, again, tossed over it. Ditto for all the extra armaments up top. It's definitely a sort of interesting approach, but same time, it's also a little bit on the cheap side. He does have possibly the most unique cape I've seen so far, or cloak, in that I don't recall ever seeing one that has folded crease like this. It's kind of weird. First I thought it might have been a defect or something, but no, I guess that's how it's supposed to be. Incidentally, though, I actually don't really like the folded mantle back here. I kind of prefer stuff more neutral and balanced and symmetrical. Now, in terms of paint, he basically has the same color scheme going throughout the outfit, and it's just shades of green for the most part, but you do get portions of shadowing, like down here at the bottom of the tunic, little bits here in the glove and so forth. The hat has the most detail. It looks like it's got several different colors going on here. It's just from different places, but it's hard to tell with the sculpt. Whereas the rest of the body looks like it's probably, at least these portions, looks like it's probably just molded plastic, and the color then had little bits of shading tossed on, which I'm not as enthusiastic about. The yellow skin portion does have deeper yellows, but given that this is a very unhealthy look, I don't think that makes a huge amount of difference. The guy looks like he's got jaundice or scurvy or something. So, Now, it looks like this portion here at the bicep is actually No, wait. It actually just goes underneath it. It's not even a sort of new sculpted bicep here. But I mean, it's just really clever how they managed to incorporate a lot of the pieces that they tossed over other pieces. I don't think I've seen this before or since here with the shoulders. Anyway, quick run through of articulation. We have a point of rotation here at the wrist. It looks like the forearm would move, but it's actually just one piece. I believe it's a new sculpted piece. Single joint here at the elbow. Point of rotation at the bicep. Ball joint at the shoulder, which, despite the cape and the additional sculpting, doesn't really seem to be impeded all that much. Although it does kind of bottom point that's going far back with this pose. Yeah, I think it's just you can't go beyond that point because of the additional tunic, but other than that, full range. Head only rotates as... oh, sorry, also has a little bit of up-down. Very minor, barely will notice this just because of the huge portion for the cloak here. Ab/diaphragm joint. Now it looks like this wasn't originally connected, so I didn't just break my figure. I would probably be upset if that was a break. Not terribly upset though. But it tucks in right behind the belt here. Point of rotation at the waist. Kind of heavily impeded just due to the tunic here. And then the upper portion. Standard 2 joints here at the hip. Not a lot of forward back because of the tunic again. Outward motion's fine. A single joint here at the knee. Point of rotation above the, or the lower point of the thigh. Completely concealed by the kick-ass boot there. And then a point here at the ankle with a small amount of pivot. And all around, like a really cool figure, but I suppose it's kind of on the shaft of it because it comes with the stand instead of a collect and connect piece, which kind of does make sense because the figure has a variant. And although even then, you know, it would just be nicer if they'd given 2 collect and connect pieces with that and the variant, and then just not done a figure with a stand, because the one that gets the stand always kind of gets screwed a little bit, especially whereas it's not as popular of a character. I picked him up mostly because he has a really strong sort of fantasy vibe, but I imagine a lot of people will pick him up for the whole New Gods connection. Here he is next to Kilowog, just to give you another kind of idea of scale and whole displayability. Well, that was a little embarrassing, but at any rate, this has been a look at the DC Universe Classics Steppenwolf, who's, you know, just a very interesting figure between all the detail and the way that they implemented the features. I didn't give enough attention to the hat here, which you'll notice has these little seams and everything, in addition to all the cool creases and stuff. But yeah, until next time, folks.